Hello, BookTube. I saw a tag on Sue's book note yesterday and thought I would do it. It is a very interesting tag. It's called the medication book tag. Okay, the first medication is Lexapro, a book with a depressing ending. That would be this book here, this E. Cummins, The Enormous Room. I'll read you the back here. 1917, young Edward Aisling Cummings went to France as a volunteer with the Red Cross ambulance unit on the Western Front, but his free-spirited, insubordinate way soon got him tagged as a possible enemy of La Patrie and was suddenly tossed into a French concentration camp at La Ferté-Macé in Normandy. Under the vilest conditions, Cummings found fulfillment in his ever-elusive quest for freedom. The Enormous Room is the account of his 4-month confinement, reads like a latter-day Pilgrim's Progress, a journey into disposition to a place among the most debased and deprived of human creatures. And he has a lot of French words in here, like so. There's a glossary in the back, and he actually ends it with a request to President Wilson to asking President Wilson for his release from the French prison, and several times. That was in the appendix. And he does say goodbye to, it does become free, but it is like, what's going on is still he has his memories of his prison, and the drawing is like he calls it the circles, the circles of hell in Dante's Inferno. So that's Lexapro. Next one is Zoloft, a book you fell out of love with. Well, the problem with this is that when I read a book, I'm actually not in love with it. I actually wait until I'm either through the book or halfway through it to say, oh, this book is, I love this book or I hate this book. It's not something I've immediately fall in love with the book when I start. So I would go on with Joyce Carol Oates' book, Son of the Morning, which I really didn't care for the character, as the character never changed. So I can't remember the character's name now. Vilbird, an expensive book you own. Well, that depends, because I don't know the value of a lot of the books I own. I have books that were printed in before 1900, so I don't know the price of a book, how much it's worth. And I had shown this book here on the channel before. This is the get it open here. This is a leather-bound edition of Omwari Mishu Zoo, Volume 3. And I didn't pay that much for this. And this is a woodblock cut prints. And so I don't know what the value of this would be. So in order to answer that question, I don't know. So I would just say I don't know about the most expensive book I own. So that's it for that prompt. Next one is Well Batten, a book that kept you on the edge of your seat. That would be one of Joan Espal's book, and this one, The Snowman. This is very, very, very good. It's very it does. It's a very good thriller. Does keep you on the edge of the seat. Joe Nesbo is a writer that is just takes off with his instead of like the girl with the dragon tattoo, where it just goes on and on and on for pages until the action starts. This one just takes off, and the beginning of the story starts with a woman comes home, sees her husband and son cooking dinner, and she goes, "Oh, you two are cooking dinner for me, and what a lovely snowman you have in the front yard." And the son and father look at each other, and a snowman, so they run to the front window, look out to the front yard, and see the snowman. Well, the father says, "Well, maybe one of the kids built it, and neighborhood kids built the snowman." And so he leaves with his wife. The son is still staring outside the window of the front yard because the snowman is still looking out into the street or is looking inside the house. Later that night, the father has to leave because he teaches at a community college. And the son is asleep, and he all of a sudden he wakes up because he hears a noise, and he gets out of bed, and he goes into the hall, and goes down the stairs, and the stairs are wet, and the front door is open. He goes outside the front door into the front yard, looks around, then sees the snowman with his mother's pink scarf around the snowman's neck. So this is the snowman. Just very good. Excellent, excellent book. Next one is Rimmerin. Chunky book on your TBR that you're worried won't be worth it. And that one would be, let me reach over here, William Wadsworth of Life. This is by Stephen Gill, and it's comes in at 420 pages. It's by Oxford Press, and this came out in Oxford University Press. See what year this came out. 1989. There's a little review somebody posted in the book, and I didn't know anything about William Wadsworth. I never heard of him. I probably did, but I'm not that familiar with William Wadsworth. And basically, I don't know anything about him, so that's what makes me apprehensive about reading it. The next one is Clonophin, a banned book that you love. That would be there's a lot of banned books. That would be Lord of the Flies by William Golden. I like this book. I like it a lot, and I recommend the older movie of this and not the earlier version. This has a critical analysis in it. In the back of the book, it ends with a question, it ends with notes, and ends with a yeah, and it's a very, very good book. And so, yeah, it's Lord of the Flies by William Golden. One thing, I was looking at some of the banned books on Google, some banned books, and one, the library. A library banned the book 50 Shades of Grey because it had bad writing in it. They should do that with a lot of books. Amplify, a book that puts you to sleep. That would be The Sympathizer by Viet Thong Nguyen. This is kind of a snoozer, even though it won the 2016 Pulitzer Prize for fiction. It's about this gentleman who, Vietnamese guy who leaves, had to follow Saigon. He acts like he's still a communist spy, and so it's kind of a sleeper for me. The last one is Ambien, a book that kept you up late. I've been Bernard Cornwell, 1356. Go with God and fight like the devil. This is a book is I read you the inside here. 100 Years' War rages on. The bloodiest battles are yet to be fought across France. Towns are closing the gate. Crops are burning, and the country stands alert to danger. The English army, victorious at the Battle of Crecy, is led by the Black Prince, is evading again, and the French are hunting down. Thomas of Houghton, the English archer known as Le Bâtard, is under orders to seek out the lost sword of St. Peter, a weapon said to grant certain victory to whomever possesses her. As an outnumbered English armies becomes trapped near the town of Poitiers, Thomas and his archers sworn enemy meet in an extraordinary confrontation that unites one of the greatest battles of all time. It was the Battle of Poitiers, and it has a little map inside. Poitiers is right here. There's the Bay of Biscay and the English Channel. It's England. And after this, it's fought the Battle of Avignon. So that's 1356 by Bernard Cornwell. Bernard Cornwell is an excellent historical fiction writer. If you haven't had a chance to read him, I highly recommend him. So that's it for the medication book tag. Hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up, a like, a comment if you wish, and take care, BookTube.